Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
It was going to be an outdoor barbecue.
You're going to have pigs, and you're going to have barbecue. I'm just saying.
Well, welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Did you slap him?
I did slap him.
Stop. In that scenario, who should pay for it? Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. You don't provoke people when they're dealing with issues involving their mental health. Now, as a parent, that's the takeaway.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Savannah Justin claims she offered up her prized pigs to race during a charity picnic and says the animals were traumatized when they saw a fellow pig on a spit at the event. Ms. Justin is suing Harlow Raymond in the amount of $3,200.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. All right, so we have a visitor here with us today at America's Court, and this is down here?
Matilda.
Matilda. And Matilda is here because we are dealing with a case involving pigs being traumatized to the tune of $3,200. Correct, Miss Justin?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Talk to me. What actually happened? Because it wasn't just Matilda. You had a few pigs.
I did. I had Princess, Babe, and Charlotte. And these are like my children, Your Honor.
So you had them involved in
a pig derby.
A pig derby. Let's talk about what a pig derby involves.
Well, it involves a 100-foot course.
And are there different pigs competing in racing towards a finish line or something?
Correct. Everybody gets involved and puts their money down on a pig. And this is a fundraiser for a children's hospital.
Good cause. And what is involved with the pig racing? Is it just people are betting on the different pigs? Or?
Right, and they have a trail that they go through, different tunnels and gates and
how many pigs are racing at any one time?
4.
Oh, you're 4?
Yes.
Miss Raymond, you decided you wanted for your fundraiser to have this type of special event.
That isn't actually quite correct.
Okay.
I met Savannah at another event.
Yes.
And we were talking, and I was telling her about the event that I was planning for the Children's Hospital, and that it was going to be an outdoor barbecue. And she told me about what she does.
Okay, now, you're going to have pigs, and you're going to have barbecue. I'm just saying.
Well, welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, well, but you know, that is a very good point. And you told her this was going to be a barbecue.
Yes, I told her it was going to be a barbecue, and she said she would like to donate her services to bring the pig derby to the barbecue.
Okay.
Because it's an event not only to raise money for the hospital.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's for the children that are the family members of children that are in the hospital.
And
everyone
did the
had good
kids
intentions.
get to also pet the pigs and sort of interact with them?
They pet the pigs when she got there very early, and the kids were taking pictures with the pigs, and it was
Matilda
going
and
beautifully.
the others, they all were seemingly enjoying this?
Yes, Your Honor.
You knew it was a barbecue?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is the issue here.
Correct.
That it was a barbecue.
Correct.
Talk to me.
Well, I assumed a barbecue could be chicken or, typical barbecues, but I didn't think...
Well, hold on a moment. When you say typical barbecue, if I'm going to a barbecue, I plan on chowing down on some ribs.
Okay.
And ribs are pigs.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You weren't thinking that could be a situation.
Correct. I did not think that there would be a dead pig that was being roasted.
Okay, so the issue is there was a pig that was roasted and it was visible.
Correct.
You had your hand up, Miss Raymond. Yes.
I have some evidence for you.
Now, I'll take a look at it.
This is the text saying that she was delighted to be there, and this is the contract that we drew up about what was expected of both parties.
In consideration of the mutual promise, parties agree. Now it says you were going to volunteer your services, Ms. Justin, for a value of $3,000.
Correct. We've been doing this for 9 years. And
Now, when you say volunteer your services, meaning that you weren't going to be compensated.
correct.
That was the understanding.
That was the understanding. Your
Normally,
Honor.
you charge $3,000.
Correct.
Okay. Why did you choose to forego the $3,000 in this particular
Because
case?
it was a donation to the Children's
So
Hospital.
your donation was valued at $3,000, which would have been what your cost to bring
Correct.
the 4 pigs there and engage in the activity.
Correct.
Got it.
Coming up on America's Court.
They are very capable of empathy, compassion, and they have incredible memories. But I can see the anxiety in their eyes. Their ears flop down. That shows a sign of depression.
And later,
So what was the final straw for you?
I got another notice from the credit card company.
Of course you did.
And she had maxed out the card.
closed captioning provided by America's Court is back with the case of Savannah Justin, who is suing Harlow Raymond for $3,200.
Why are you now suing when you signed the contract saying you were volunteering your services?
I think that I owed up to my end of the bargain.
Okay. Is there any disputing that she held up to her end of the bargain?
Other than just all of the mayhem that ensued when she saw the pig on the spit and screamed, and then all
You
of her
actually had
pigs started.
a full pig roasting.
Yes, sir.
And yes,
see
ma'am,
that?
I
I'll
have
see it.
some
I'll take a look at it. And for you, Miss Justin, that was an issue because as opposed to the pig being cut and sliced. Oh,
I did not know that there was going to be a full pig there, but I just said to the vendor, he just does wonderful work. Just, work your magic, do whatever you want to do.
so
Yes.
it was traumatizing
It was
for
traumatizing.
you.
Yes, and we were holding the pig for a picture, and my Matilda made eye contact with the dead pig, and she squealed out of my arms. Your Honor, these are like my children. I love them,
Sure.
and I can tell when they get upset.
Right. And in
what-
fact, not only were you adamant about this having an effect on them, from what I understand, you also had someone spend time with them to see if there was some sort of trauma. And I believe that's the person that's here right now?
Correct. My witness.
Come on up. And ma'am, your last name is?
Dr. Matters.
Dr. Matters. Has Dr. Matters been sworn in, Deputy Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor, she has.
Dr. Matters, give me your background, training, and experience, if you can, in this area.
I have a PhD from Indiana University in Bloomington.
Yes, I'm familiar.
In animal behavior and in psychology. So she called me and she asked if I would be able to diagnose her pig, and I said, of course, but let me
Just
come
the one? Just Matilda?
No, all 4.
And what is it about pigs that most of us would not even be aware of?
They have feelings. They are very capable of empathy, compassion, and they have incredible memories. And when I talked to the animals when I went to visit them,
How do you communicate with them?
well, I look at them, I examine them, I talk to them, I see what's going on, and there were vocalizations like "oh" that came from these
Now,
animals.
what is it that you're saying that they're responding to?
They're responding to my looking at them and the way in which I touch them. And I can see, not only through their vocalization, but I can see the anxiety in their eyes. And I can see that their ears flop down. That shows a sign of depression.
I see. Matilda's co-signing on everything you just said. What all of you would seemingly agree that there was some sort of reaction to the pig that was on the skewer.
Yes, but the reaction to the pig on the skewer was by Savannah
Miss
when
Justin.
she saw it and went, ah, and was aghast
she had
at it.
some sort of
And
major
I
reaction.
say that the animals were responding to seeing this person that is like their mother and she is like their children in a state of distress, and that is actually what caused the trauma to the animals.
Or it certainly could have been a cause, maybe not
It
the
could be
cause.
a cause, yes.
Dr. Matters, would you agree with that? If the animal is picking up what the owner is expressing, could that be a sign?
Yes, of course.
Okay, that's
yes,
what
of
I wanted
course.
to make sure.
But when I saw them, it was a day later. and they were still traumatized.
Why are you entitled to the $3,000? And why are you entitled to the additional $200?
Because they're going
Let's
to...
make it easy. Let's start with the $200. What does that represent?
That is her fee.
Okay.
Hourly fee. So she says they're going to need long-term care.
The $3,000 is for the monies that you donated.
No, well...
Your volunteer services of $3,000, you're now saying you want to be paid.
Well, I want to be paid so that I can take care of their behavior problems.
Let's say you didn't want to spend the $3,000 on that. Let's just say you decided you wanted to go travel. Bottom line is you want $3,000. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the defendant. You signed a contract that says you will not be paid any money. In fact, it's bolded right here.
Right.
And you signed it, and you said, I normally charge $3,000. I'm volunteering that amount.
Okay.
The only issue that legally would stand is the theory of negligence. And the negligence theory says Ms. Raymond failed to exercise a reasonable duty of care.
Correct.
Did she fail to exercise a reasonable duty of care when she had another vendor say, I'm going to perform, and she told you it was a barbecue? At no point did you say, well, you're not going to be barbecuing pig or anything like that because that's going to be a problem. That was never a conversation. So it would be unreasonable for her to conclude to not be able to have a pig on display if you all never had a conversation and there was no meeting of the minds. Unfortunately, ma'am, your matter's dismissed.
Okay.
Case closed. Bye, Matilda.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
Sorry, this didn't work out. And next time I will make sure in my contract that there's a clause that says no dead pigs.
That sounds like a terrific idea.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Why do you think you're being sued?
The credit card bill that does have only emergencies charged onto it.
Closed captioning provided by Dion Silver claims he gave his goddaughter a credit card for emergency use only and says she maxed it out on a mental health weekend. Mr. Silver is suing Chloe Tan in the amount of $727.
Mr. Silver, talk to me. Why are you entitled to this $727 from of all people, your goddaughter?
Well, the original agreement for her to have a credit card was that it was for emergencies.
So you got her a credit card?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Tan, any particular reason why Mr. Silver is the person getting you a credit card versus your parents?
My parents passed away when I was 3.
You had a relationship with the parents?
Yes, sir. I grew up childhood friends with her father.
And he's suing you, so something tells me there's more to this. Why do you think you're being sued?
To teach me a lesson about financial responsibility.
And what makes you say that?
Because I may have not been the most financial responsible person in the past.
And what makes you say that?
The credit card bill that does have only emergencies charged onto it.
There was a stipulation that it was to be used only for emergencies.
Only emergencies.
That's correct.
Okay.
Coming up on America's Court.
She said she was really stressed out at school and she needed a mental health weekend.
What did the mental health weekend entail?
Concert tickets. I only paid for my ticket though.
Closed captioning provided by America's Court is back with the case of Dion Silver, who is suing his goddaughter, Chloe Tan, for bad debt.
Give me an example of what was charged that was not, in your opinion, an emergency.
The first one that I got was a notice that she had charged $281.
For?
It was for a bag.
As in like a purse?
I think more of a book bag.
School, for
type
school.
situation.
It was for school.
I'm a fashion student, so I really do pay
Stop.
attention.
I get it. She's a fashion student.
You get it. Good.
Don't bother. She's a fashion student.
But I gave her $200 to pay on that so that she wouldn't incur interest. And then, 2 months later, I get another notice, and she had charged $500. She said she was really stressed out at school, and she needed a mental health weekend.
And what did the mental health weekend entail? In fact, I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Concert tickets. I only paid for my ticket though. And then I got my hair done for the concert, and then I bought a nice meal.
We're in a different age right now.
Yes.
I'm noticing with younger people, it's important for them to have some sort of mental health break. So what was the final straw for you?
Well, I got another notice from the credit card company.
Of course you did.
And she had maxed out the card. Do you want to tell them what happened? Or?
Yes. This midterm, which is for stats, and you understand how stats is super difficult. I tried to go to the learning center, the math center, to help me with statistics and my homework and like getting a tutor before the midterm, which costed $150.
You know how we started this conversation?
The lesson being learned?
What's the lesson here?
Financial responsibility.
Financial responsibility.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. Promotional consideration provided by...
What are we going to do with you, Miss Tan? What are we going to do? And you're not disputing that it's monies that your godfather gave you, right?
Right.
Is there anything you want to say to your godfather?
I never tried to take advantage of you, and I'm sorry for the lack of financial responsibility that I have shown with this credit card bill that got maxed out. And if I do end up having to pay, I'll pay, and you'll never have this issue again. I'm sorry.
I accept your apology.
Want to give him a hug?
Yeah, I would want to give him a hug. I'm sorry. It's okay.
My work is done here. Because based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the plaintiff. You are going to pay him that $727.
Okay.
He's going to work with you on that payment schedule. Yeah. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $727.
I'm thankful that the judge ruled in my favor. It was never about the money. I just wanted her to learn some financial responsibility.
I am very glad that I am learning this lesson at this court, and I know I will never make the mistake to be unfinancially responsible again.